What's up, guys? Excited to talk to you today. This is another video of those kind of weird abstract life concepts, okay? And today we're going to be talking about the nature of your humanity, all right? So I don't I want to talk about abstract stuff here, but it's important that I use words that are easy to understand. Words like humanity are a bit confusing, so we're going to say human nature, okay? What's really important is that you understand human nature. And the main point I want to make to you here is that most people don't see the bigger picture when it comes to human nature. Most people believe one of two things. They believe that people are either inherently good or that people are inherently evil, okay? That's not what human nature is. And it's really important that you understand that it's not in human nature to be good to people, nor is it in human nature to be bad to people. Human nature is to replicate. It is to copy that which you are around. A human is this amazing pattern creating machine that just creates more of what's given to it, okay? So that's critical to understanding about humanity, is that as a human, you are completely shaped by your environment. Your environment is what determines who you are, what you become, okay? And ultimately, even if you have all of the willpower in the world, if you fail to control your environment, you fail to control yourself. You cannot control who you are and who you are becoming if you don't control your environment, because your environment is the thing that creates you. And it's really, really, really important that you understand this concept, because it's not about if, people are good or if people are bad. It's about understanding the circumstances that led people to be where they are. When it comes to humans, if you can learn their backstory and learn their kind of motives and their history, humans are really, really, really predictable, incredibly predictable. We are our environments. We become the environment that we're in. We're completely influenced by it, right? This is why the people that you hang out with have so much to do with who you are. And the people that you work with, you are literally shaped by every single interaction that you have with anybody. It is impossible for you to not be shaped by the interactions you have with other people. That being said, obviously, it's not true that just being around somebody makes you become like them. If you're around an asshole, that doesn't immediately make you an asshole. That's not how it works. But it's very important that you understand that no matter what you do, you will be affected by your environment and the people that you're around. So the trick is learning to mitigate the negative effects that people have on you, and to exaggerate the positive effects that people have on you. But ultimately, you have to understand you will always be affected in some way. Like, take the example of having a really reckless parent, right? That would mean that you either are reckless because your parent was reckless, or that action, you loathed it so much growing up that you became the opposite, right? Either way, it shaped who you are. You cannot change that things will affect you. But what you can change is how you perceive the way that things affect you. And this is kind of a trick I'll talk about later, because it's ultimately the most abstract of all of these concepts, and that's the concept of managing and manipulating your own perceptions, which is really, really, really useful, but also a little bit dangerous, right? So we're not going to get into that in today's episode, just because that's the most abstract of all of these concepts, right? So that's not what we're going to look into. I really want to hammer down this concept, though, that your environment dictates what you become. Your environment dictates most of the things about your developing personality, right? So in order for you to control who you're becoming, in order for you to live a better life, you have to be able to get some kind of control over the environment that you're in. And the trick is that this is impossible. You can never be in control of your environment completely. It's just, that's not how the world works. You cannot be in control of everything. That being said, what you can do is get out of the environment that you're in and place yourself in new environments. You can control that. You can control your ability to have new experiences, right? So what you have to do to change your life is change your environment. And ultimately, as long as you consistently change your environment over and over again, and you're around new people who are challenging you, then your life's gonna get much, much, much better pretty quickly. And that's kind of the recurring theme of all of these abstract thoughts, is that like, a lot of people think that success is all about like willpower and just being really smart and just working all the time and working really hard, and no one else is willing to work that hard, so you deserve the success that you find. But that's not how it usually works with people, guys. It really isn't. Like, most successful people, they just kind of like have a certain quality about them that changes the way that they live, and that difference is why they're successful. It's not because they're smarter, it's not because they have more willpower, it's not because they worked their asses off all the time. It's just because they think differently. And that's the funny thing about it, is once you learn to think differently, then you just kind of get results without even having to will yourself to make the things happen, right? Because the idea is that you understand yourself so well, you know the environment necessary to create the results that you want. So you don't even have to think about what your goal is, because you've placed yourself in the environment that makes it most likely that you will accomplish the goal. So therefore, you're a human, you're probably just gonna do what your environment makes you do, and you've placed yourself there, it's gonna happen. You don't really need to worry about it. Like, okay, me for example, I publish videos every single day, right? I have no idea what the video for the day is gonna be sometimes, but I still publish videos every single day. There's no part of me that worries about what to make a video about, because I understand that there's an unlimited amount of content that I can make. There's an unlimited amount of things that I can think about, right? So there's no point in me worrying about these things, because I'm in the lifestyle that creates video every day. I don't have to think about it. I just do it. It's habitual, right? And that is mostly because of my environment. The reason I'm able to do this is because I don't have a job. Like, this is my job. That makes it so much easier to make daily content, because I can wake up and be like, oh, you know, today I want to talk about this. This is what's going through my mind. And I can do it, right? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that's ultimately the point of this episode. I know it's a bit rambly, and some of these are going to be a bit hard to understand. And this is kind of me practicing talking about these subjects, getting better at articulating them so that I can put them into a different form, whether that's going to be a course in the future or like a book or something. I'm not sure. But again, the main point of today, of this episode, is that you understand the nature of being a human, and that it's not about willing yourself to change. It's not about trying to force yourself. It's about learning what makes you tick and learning about your environment. Placing yourself in new environments over and over and over again so that you inevitably learn more about the effect that the environment has upon you. By placing yourself in new environments over and over and over again, you guarantee that you will then understand what environment is necessary for your best life. If you fail to put yourself into new environments, you're never going to learn that. And you're going to have to be in environments that aren't great, that are uncomfortable. But ultimately, it all plays a part in the bigger picture. And if you can figure out what environment is best for you, and then you can change your life so that you live that environment, everything after that is way, way, way easier, because you have, you've got everything in your favor. The odds are stacked for you, right? All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.